Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So let's talk about how to choose the right woman. For the longest time, I would just basically let women choose me. I was so desperate for any kind of relationship just to be in one. Society has a lot of pressure on us, and being single, you can be discriminated against from your friends, from jobs, from society in general, from your church, from all kinds of groups, just for simply being single. There can be a lot of pressure to hook up with somebody, to shack up, just to be in a relationship. A lot of times it doesn't even make us happy. It can be the most stressful part of our lives, but we're in it just because we're supposed to. Keeps our parents happy, keeps everybody around us happy, but it's not keeping us happy. I found myself like that, and I realized that I was choosing the wrong women, and I wasn't really choosing them. Like I said, they were choosing me. I was just going for any chick with a set of tits and an ass, right? She would let me have sex with her. There you go. What other choice do I need? That's total beta simp sucker shit right there. You got to learn to be above that. It starts with creating yourself into the best version of yourself, to be the best person that you can be, to really work on your flaws and to enhance your strengths, and to be the type of person that women want. And it doesn't mean that you cultivate yourself in order to get chicks. That's the wrong way to do it. You do it for yourself because it's a lifestyle, because it's all you have. Because if you don't, you're a sucker. Because if you don't, you're a loser. If you don't, you go backwards in life. Who wants that? Everybody wants to be successful. And I'm not just talking about business, but just in life in general. You want to have a good life. That's what I mean by be successful. You want to have a good life. So you got to work on yourself, and you got to be able to present yourself in a certain way. The men that get the top women, the women that you dream of, those guys aren't suckers. They're not losers. They're working on themselves, and they have things to offer, mind, body, and soul aspects of themselves to offer. So cultivate yourself so you have things to offer. And you got to be realistic about the type of women that you're chasing. And I don't mean that there's anybody out of your league, but let me use an example of somebody I know. I have a friend of mine who is 400 pounds. He's 5'5" at the tallest, maybe smaller. So he's about as fat as he is tall. I could go on and on and on describing his flaws, and you could sit there and shake your head and be like, oh, what a horrible sounding person. But I'm not. I'm going to save him from that abuse. But you get the idea of the type of guy that I'm talking about. This is a friend of mine. I've known him for many years. He's single now, and we were talking about women, and somehow it came up of his type of woman, the type of woman that he wants, that he's looking for. And he describes these models and comes out and says that he doesn't like fat women. He thinks fat women are disgusting. And I'm like, dude, you're disgusting. Look at you. You're a horrible troll. I mean, what makes you think that anybody that's interested in fitness and a mind, body, and soul lifestyle, some hot chick like these ones you're pointing out on TV, why would they want you? You don't even have a lot of money. If you were a billionaire, I'd say, or a producer in Hollywood, that maybe you could scam on one of these chicks, but you have nothing to offer. Why would anybody be, and this is just what you want, and so I guess stay single for the rest of your life, because this is never going to happen for you. So you have to be realistic, and if a guy like that wants to meet women that are, top-notch, he's going to have to be a top-notch dude. I mean, it's just obvious. When I'm choosing a woman, and I use the word choosing intentionally now because not that I'm trying to pat myself on the back like as if I'm some player and I have a grocery store full of women to choose from, but I'm not just letting them choose me. When they chose me, and I would just go along like a stray dog, trying to get a treat from somebody, I would end up in these horrible relationships that wouldn't last as long as I would want to be into a relationship. I would desperately trying to bite my arm off in order to get out of this dysfunctional communion. They would not be somebody worth marrying. If you're not willing to marry the person, it's not a relationship worth being in. So when I'm choosing a woman now, I try to have a set of standards, and it took me a long time in order to create those standards. I had to actually sit down and do an exercise, and you can do that too. Get a pencil and a paper, pen and paper, and just start writing down what the ideal woman would be. What do you think? And you'll start off, of course, everybody starts off with beautiful, big tits, whatever. You get through all the shallow stuff. Blonde hair, blue eyes, whatever you fantasize, right? You get through all that. And then you may have 4 or 5 things on your list. You're going to want to fill that whole page. Keep going. So then you get to somebody who's smart, somebody who's kind, somebody who's nice, somebody who's caring, somebody who's giving, somebody who's, and you get down to this list. And finally, after you look, you keep writing these things. You could get really specific. Nobody taller than 6 feet. I'm 6'2". I don't mind a tall chick. I'll date a 6'6" chick if she's right. I don't care. The WNBA, I got no problem with that. But if that's your thing, if you're my 5'2", 400-pound buddy, you might not be vibing on some 6'3" volleyball player, Olympic athlete. So write that on there. Nobody taller than whatever. Write all your things, everything you can think of. If you don't like chicks with rotten teeth, put on there good teeth. Everything from the shallow physical stuff to the mental stuff. Somebody who has their head together, somebody who has a minimal amount of trauma in their life, whatever, and just keep adding to your list, and you'll create this profile, a character profile. That's who you're looking for. And you don't want to limit yourself down with this, so you're looking for a unicorn. You're hunting for, aliens or the Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot. You're hunting for a fantasy, a legend, a myth. You want to be realistic. There is no perfect person. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. The people you worship on TV or online or whatever, and you think that these people that really got it going on, they're not perfect. I've met so many celebrities. Oh my God. Tons of celebrities. I lived in Hollywood. I worked at a hotel called the Chateau Marmont. And I met every famous person that I've ever liked. All of my heroes. I was growing up. You name it. Robert De Niro. All of them. Christopher Walken's. All of them. I met them all. I never met one of them that I was impressed with. They're all just normal people. Just regular people. What you see on the screen, even the image, the bodies, all that. It's not as good as they. Now, I will give Gwen Stefani an A+. She looks every bit as good as she does in magazines or on TV as she does in real life. But she could be a nut. I heard that she was Orange County meth head when she was coming up, so she might be some dingbat chick. You can't live in these fantasy worlds. So there is nobody perfect. That's the point. There's nobody perfect. So if you're having this ideal of some princess that's going to come flying down on a horse and rescue you from your shitty life, that will never happen, and get real. Everybody has flaws. You do. Everybody has scars. Everybody's body is slightly off. You're going to have to get rid of these bullshit fantasies. But you made your character profile. You've made what you think is the ideal mate. And you can save that. Put that in your file cabinet. If you do it on your computer, save it to a file, and you can add to this as you progress as a person, and you can take things off that you may have looked back on it and be like, well, that's a little silly. I don't know why I was so about that. She doesn't have to be really good at making popcorn, or whatever the thing on your list was. I guess I can scratch that off. And you really get clear of what it is that you're looking for. And then you can work on yourself. Look at those qualities that you've listed. Are you really, you want a super nice woman? How nice are you? Because nice people usually attract. Nice people think that opposites attract. I don't really believe that. If you're a complete opposite from the person that you're in a relationship, well, good luck with that. That's usually an anomaly. That's not usually what happens. People that are like each other, they click like magnets. Oh, you like the same stuff I like? Wonderful. So look at that list, and if you find that you might be lacking in some of those areas, work on that. And the reason why is, well, because it makes you a better person, but also if your goal is to attract that type of person that you made the list about, they're going to want to be able to be attracted to those qualities as well. A nice woman is looking for a nice man. Nice women aren't looking for dickheads. Trust me, this fantasy that you hear about is promoted about girls always want bad boys. No, they don't. No, they don't. I've been a bad boy. I've been out there in the streets. I've been the worst of the worst. They don't want somebody who's truly, they want a guy who's cool, who's has a job, who has his teeth, who's not going to prison, who's not covered in teardrop tattoos, or swastikas, and who will treat them like a queen and treat them nice. And they want regular shit, man. They may want a guy who is tough, who's alpha, who can protect them, who can be a man, not a pussy, not a girl. A girl doesn't want to be the man in the relationship. She wants to be the woman. So you have to be the man. That when when you hear this goofball crap about girls like bad boys, that's all that is a lot of so-called bad boys have a certain amount of masculinity that they're not afraid to display. Because out in that lifestyle, masculinity, almost to a toxic degree, is what gets you by. The strong survive. So women like strong men. That's why a lot of women like guys with beards, because it presents a certain level of masculinity, and whatever. But the point is to make the list and to look at the list, and it's not only a list of what you're looking for, and it'll be amazingly helpful because you need to know what you're looking for. If you're out there hunting, hunters just don't go hunt for anything random. They don't just throw on some camo and grab a gun and just walk around and just start shooting shit. That's a mass shooter. That's not a hunter. Deer hunters hunt deer. Deer hunters are fucking experts on deer. You go ask a deer hunter any question about a deer, they're going to tell you. From what the bumps on the fucking antlers mean, to the spots, to the size, to what the meat tastes like, they're going to tell you everything. They know what they're hunting. They know what they're looking for. They know which deer not to shoot and which deer to shoot. Fishermen are the same way. Fishermen know everything about the sea. They know everything about the tides. They know when to fish, what to fish for, what kinds of fish are the good ones, what to throw back. They know all the ins and outs of fishing. Fish biology, fish, personalities. They know, you have to. They know which fish they hate. They know which fish they like. So kind of be that way in yourself. Cultivate yourself. Learn to be a good hunter. A good hunter is interactive with the process. It's not a video game where you're just lucky enough to see something come up on your radar and you're like, well, there you go. I mean, this is why Tinder and these kinds of websites are mostly duds, the dating sites. Yeah, they're duds. You can try it. I've been on dating websites, but it's a very hard way to interact with somebody. When you get on there and say if you do have an interaction with somebody, you want to be able to get to know them, whether you pull them into a conversation on your phone, or if you're bold enough to just go and meet them right away, whatever it is for you. But get to know them. And that's also something that I really had to learn for myself, was to stop having one-night stands. You're not going to meet your dream girl through one-night stands. You're not going to meet that, go write that ideal mate list like I told you to do. Do you think on there is going to be slut? Is that on your ideal mate list, whore? Chick who spreads for anybody at the bar? No. So stop that. It's engaging in a type of behavior that's not only going to make you look bad to your ideal mate if she happens to see you and you happen to just miss a connection, but it's not a healthy way to play the game. So if you're serious about finding a woman and you want to know how I stop this game of going from horrible relationship to horrible relationship like I've done, then you need to start getting serious about what you're hunting for and to really play the game how it's supposed to be played. Not playing it like a cheater or a chump, sucker. And be honest. People like honest people. When you're playing this game of let's hook up, one night stand, it's a game for deviance. It's selfish. It's masturbation with somebody else. It's really all it is. It's self-serving. So this is all just food for thought for people that are single, and that are wondering, for men in particular, but if you're wondering how, this all works for women too, but if you're wondering how to choose your ideal mate, how to choose a woman, how to choose somebody to be in a relationship with, this is the framework. This is how you start. Thanks for watching.